Oh, bros, here we are. Here we are getting some validation here in the early months of 2024. Boy, it is just crazy. The first chart that I want to show you guys is actually not Bitcoin to USD. It's one that I showed yesterday on our 3 p.m. live stream. It is this chart here. It is Bitcoin to the QQQ. This is Bitcoin to the NASDAQ ETF QQQ. If you go out to the 1 weekly chart, you can see that this is a very historically significant line of what was resistance. It is now very confidently, going back down to the daily chart, very confidently flipped that resistance as support. What does this mean? Well, if we zoom out, I mean, essentially what this means is that Bitcoin is kind of crossing a major landmark relative to the entire growth sector of the U.S. stock market, right? So it's big, it's significant, and I don't think that it's even close to over, right? Now the all-time highs last go around got us up to, and this is a weird metric, but it got us up to 3.6 billion, right? We're currently rocking at 2.5 billion. So that this doesn't mean a whole lot for your personal portfolio. There's nothing really actionable about this. This is just kind of marking a shift in investment sentiment into Bitcoin. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. People are wanting to take more risk by buying Bitcoin than by buying Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Tesla, and that's just the world we live in. Right now, it's a little crazy. It's a little wacky. But it all is starting to kind of make sense. I've got a lot of stories to bring you all. Thank you so much for tuning into the Investing Bros. I am T Shroom, and I'm over the moon. I'm trying to keep it chill because I don't want to come across as crazy, but everything inside of me is going completely bonkers right now because yesterday, if I go to a spot Bitcoin chart, I'll zoom out and then I'll zoom in. You can see that we got a little wild. We got a little wild breaking out of pretty much this technical triangle. Got a nice breakout, a retest of it to confirm that indeed Bitcoin was ready to go higher. Now let's go down to a 4-hour chart and see if we can get a little bit of a better perspective here. Bitcoin has only now started to print back inside the upper band of the Bollinger Band here on the 4-hour. Before then, pretty much every candlestick since this one back here at 11 on the 26th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard, has been pretty much above that Bollinger Band. Extremely, extremely overbought indication, but not overbought for no reason. It's overbought for good reason, right? There's a difference. We respected this T-box. It was very well obeyed, and this seemed to be kind of the springboard. This level here that I've had drawn for a while now, 50,009, right? Now, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of wild. To be honest with you, I was not expecting this pump right here. And it's hard to say exactly why. It did coincide with Michael Saylor buying another 3,000 Bitcoin. That potentially could have been the timing. But it did do something that was very significant, and it wrecked a bunch of longs. You can see here on coinglass.com, we haven't seen this level of wrecked longs. Wrecked shorts in a long time. So the level here on my screen, I'm looking right here at this volume stick right here, got down to 44,000. Right, we haven't seen those levels since back here. I'm looking at this candlestick back here in December 3rd, right, of last year. So this is abnormal. This is an abnormal occurrence for the liquidatable markets, being the futures and options markets for Bitcoin. So it's pretty crazy, and that led to huge upside, right? Huge upside, and we're seeing that play out on the charts, on the spot charts. Let's take a look at a couple other indicators. I've got that's not the Fear and Greed Index. What happened to the Fear and Greed Index? I want to show you guys the Fear and Greed Index here. We are now in extreme greed, okay, at 79, level 79 here. And it's pretty wild. 79, just a click short of 80. Obviously, we haven't really been at this levels until, let me guess, February 13th. Yeah, seems about right. A couple of days after a couple of days after the spot Bitcoin ETF was approved by the SEC officially. That was the last time that we were at these levels. So that was pretty recently. I'm sorry. No, it was not February. It was January 10th was when the spot Bitcoin applications were approved. So this was just another time where there was a lot of greed. But we haven't seen these levels. So another way to interpret this is that we've been rocking out at these levels for a while. I mean, we haven't seen lower than 70 in a long time, right? So we've been in the greed and we've been hanging out in the greed, and now we're at this moment in time on February 27th, we're at kind of the extreme levels of that greed. Now, you might ask the question, T-Shroom, is this when I should sell? If this was any asset, this is kind of the time to sell after a huge parabolic move to the upside. You know, this is when you would usually take profits. But this kind of plays into a bigger question here that we've been asking pretty much since the beginning of Bitcoin. Maybe not we, but that has been asked since the beginning, which is there a better asset to own? And, you know, if you don't own a house, you probably want to own your own home, you know, but other than that, I don't know that there really is a better asset to own out there. So selling Bitcoin for profit out of your HODL bags does not make a ton of sense to your boy T-Shroom. Just going to be honest with you. Let's check in on the chat and see what is going on here with everybody. Drew XRP said, it's all coincidence with Rothschild death. Coincidence? I think not. Wow, that's a deep tinfoil take. I don't know that I agree with that. I haven't really heard that too much, so I don't know. There might be more meat to the bones of that story. I don't know. Crypto Minibike said, smash the likes. Eric Wallen said, let's go. So we're getting some excitement here. Joe Nichols said, morning, bros. There you go. The Dusty Hunt said, I found my clothes. That's good. That's good. Was that an allusion to the emperor has no clothes metaphor and that people haven't been taking you seriously, but now they are? Is that what I'm interpreting there? All right. Gonzo Lag, that's a cool name, said, good morning, bros. Let's get it. Rocket ship. Can we actually hit BTC all-time high before halving? We've been asking the question. All-time high before halving. It's looking like it's more and more possible every day, right? I think Tim and I both agree that we don't get that. But it's like, the thing is with Bitcoin, this is why I've been telling everybody, don't short Bitcoin. Like, this is why. This is why right here. Because you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get liquidated. Now, obviously, you can mitigate risk and you can kind of avoid that by using stop losses. You can avoid getting wrecked. But the reality is that this is just not a time to be shorting Bitcoin. You want to short Bitcoin? Short Bitcoin all through this period here. Right? So, I don't know. I do we hit an all-time high before? I mean, we're only, what, 9K away? Less than $9,000 away from all-time high? You know, it's not that far away. So, if we continue to rally, then I think we're going to hit it. Now, if we just stay sideways until the halving, there's a possibility that we don't hit it. But I just don't see... And Tim started to agree with me yesterday, which I do think is a tone shift for him. I don't see a real reason other than the technicals, other than the fact that we are like face-meltingly overbought for Bitcoin. I'm here on the monthly chart in the signals, the Lux Algo oscillator matrix, the hyperwave is saying overbought. Now, it's not extreme overbought, I will say, compared to the 2021 highs here, but it is overbought. Not compared to the 2017 highs, but it is overbought, which means it should correct. But the thing is, Bitcoin doesn't really care too much about the technicals during these parabolic moments. The overbought indicators are basically only worth USD. They're useless. They're not all that great. At least you know, when you're thinking about taking a swing short. A swing short is like doomed to fail right now. That's what I think. Will we hit all-time highs before the halving? It's starting to look like it. But I don't see an event out there that's really going to take Bitcoin out. We're actually going to talk about a couple of negative things here before the show's over, just because I don't want anybody to miss out and not be aware of the risks that the assets that they're holding. But I don't think it's going to do anything to price. So we'll see. Let's see. Tradefly said, Wallen, what up, fan? What is up? Eric Wallen's got $50 coming his way. I mean, that's going to be the first thing I do when I get off this stream is send Eric Wallen $50. Why? Because he was the lucky recipient of the $50 from our trading challenge on Friday. So that is going to be really exciting to send that over to him every Friday. And if not Friday, Saturday, every Friday we give away the money that we make from a leverage trade. You get to tune in, you get to pick the leverage, you get to pick the asset. We pick it, and then a lucky winner who does all of the social media things that are necessary gets to win that money. And this week, it's the biggest pot that we've given away so far. So that is really, really cool. And Eric has won. He's already won once, so he's going to win again here. Gia S. said, hey, what's up, Mellow Fellow? So Mellow Fellow in the chat saying, what's up, Gia? So all of our favorite peeps are here. Echo Denise said, stop holding the XRP, so many better projects. This is from Echo Denise, letting everybody know that she's not a fan of XRP. She's got a lot of other coins that she's much more interested in. Brutal said, Pyth shot 30% in 10 minutes last night. So it seems. Yes, I did not sell my Pyth. I have learned my lesson. Because I sold my H-bar. That made tears come to my face. And I sold my Uniswap, and that much more recently made tears come to my face. But I have good news to report, bros, is that I did not sell my Pyth. And I am very, very happy about that because Pyth has done really, really well. It did really, really well. And as you can see here, this is a borderline God candle right now. It's retraced a good amount. It's only up 20% now. But let's look at the chart at the bubbles here. Pyth 29% here on the day. Not exactly when that candlestick starts and stops for crypto bubbles and their information, but that's good. You know, that's a big move higher for Pyth. It's nice to see. I've got a couple other things I want to show you here. You might be looking at my tabs and thinking, ooh, T-Shroom's got a good show for us today, and you'd be right. I do have a good show for you. It's a celebratory show. I'm trying to subdue myself again. That's why I've got my chill hoodie on, trying to stay chill for you guys, but it is very difficult to contain myself today for obvious reasons. Let's see. Drew XRP said, I am also making tears, but my other green bags are soaking it up. I love it. Yeah, that's one good thing is I'm not down on anything yesterday at all. Across the board. It has been good. It's been nice to watch. Let's take a look at Caspa, because Caspa was also doing somewhat well, but relatively subdued here. No, it's not. It actually hasn't done all that well. But it had a nice, on the daily yesterday, it had a great kind of comeback from a low red candle, was able to flip it green. Now, today's candle is going red, but we might see the same thing. My prediction is that Caspa will be doing very, very well very, very soon. So this is not a coin that I'm going to be even thinking about selling. I'm thinking about buying more of it, but I'm already overexposed to Caspa, in my humble opinion, according to my portfolio here. Bitcoin Cash getting a good bid yesterday. I don't know. I'm not super aware of the buy thesis of this one, especially after, what's the name of that new exchange? There's some like TradFi exchange, XMD or XDM markets or something like that, especially since they're kind of pivoting away from America so that they can list more coins, right? I was kind of thinking that Bitcoin Cash would actually get a boost in price because this new big kind of TradFi exchange that was going to start listing crypto, it was going to be only one of 4 coins, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. But now it looks like that exchange is actually looking to go get listed in a place where it can have outside of the U.S. and get more coins listed on it. So what was the name of that? X markets or something like that? Yeah, I don't remember. XDM? Yeah. Anyway, let's keep moving here, guys. I want to show you guys something really cool. We're only a couple clicks away from Bitcoin jumping, flipping, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Meta, platforms. It's not far away. It's only 0.1 away from Meta platforms being worth less than Bitcoin. And then it's not too far from that we'll also go ahead and flip silver. In fact, the same day that we flip Meta, we probably will flip silver. It'll be a while before we flip Apple. I mean, yeah, well, definitely a while before we flip Apple. That's $2.7 trillion, but it won't be too far. It'll be a good little walk as well, good little journey to flip Google. But once we get into Google, it's like, and that's flipped, it's really only a matter of time because a lot of these are pretty much neck and neck all the way up to Nvidia. And then from there, there'll be just a constant trickle until 13 trillion. Now, 13 trillion is going to probably be next cycle. That is my guess, is that we don't flip gold this cycle, but maybe we do. So far, all of my non-bullish predictions have been false, and Bitcoin has just completely melted the faces of people who have been shorting, have been bearish, and they've been proven to be wrong again and again. Let's take a look here at coin market cap, see what coins have done the best, and which ones are kind of lagging here. I like to look at the 90 days. So the one that is up the most is Flare over the last 90 days. That's actually really interesting. And then you have Stacks, which makes a lot more sense, Beam, and Say coin. Ordi not too far behind there, 238. Ordi is actually the only coin of these top four that I hold, Ordi being the Ordinals meme coin. Let's see. The biggest losers are Monero and Sats over the last 90 days. So Sats actually, that's actually not bad. Like if you don't have any exposure to Sats, this might not be a bad time to pick it up because you can see it's lagging compared to the rest of the market. Starknet, Toncoin, and OKB kind of bringing up the rear. XRP also kind of down 10% here over the last 90 days at a time where there's only a handful of total names, like what is this, 7 or 10 names that are even red in the top 100 over the last 90 days. The rest of them are green, right? So something to think about. Even a name like VeChain is up 121% in the last 90 days. Let's look at the last 24 hours here for CoinMarketCap. Pepe leading the charge. Pepe coin, of course, the meme coin that's loosely affiliated with a certain political group here in the United States. And then you got Theta Network also popping off big time. Tim kicking himself because he didn't make a video on Theta. That's okay. That's okay, Tim. We love you. And we loved your Ethereum video. Pyth Network is bringing up the number 3 slot there of the top mover coins in the green for the last 24 hours. Let's look at the last 7 days. Let's see. That's going to be Pepe, Theta, Flare, and then Uniswap. Yeah, we all forgot about Uniswap already, even though that one put some face-melting gains on the charts. Well, that's going to be our coin market cap coverage. Really, really exciting stuff here. Let's see. Let's actually, real quick, what are the biggest losers of the last 7 days? It's going to be Starknet, Ronin, DYM. Had a big pop like a week or two ago, and now it's starting to retrace. Makes sense. Not saying anything negative about the project. Not saying negative or positive about any of these projects. I'm literally just looking at the numbers. Here's one thing to notice: Kaspa. Kaspa's down 4.7% on the week or the last 7 days, right? Now let me put it to you like this. Now is probably not the best time to buy Bitcoin, but there are a lot of altcoins that are still somewhat undervalued. I don't know if you can say undervalued anymore in talking about crypto, but Cardano and Kaspa definitely come to mind as coins that I'm actually looking to buy. Not just DCA, but buy, because they are still undervalued. Let's keep moving here, guys. I've got a story here for you. Republican lawmakers introduced legislation to ban CBDCs in the U.S. again. Ted Cruz associated with this, Rick Scott, Ted Budd, Mike Braun. So if you're in the U.S., you might care about this, but ultimately, just generally bullish headline there. Nothing too crazy. HTX withdraws license application in Hong Kong and then resubmits it. So is this a nothing burger? It is. But I brought it to your attention because there's clearly some confusion. There's some last minute pivoting in the Asian world when it comes to crypto. They don't know exactly which way the momentum should go. Of course, Bitcoin, China has been thawing towards crypto and Bitcoin, not very aggressively, but the direction has been towards a thaw. Meaning what? Meaning looser legislation, meaning not a ban, right? They're moving away from a ban in China, which is big because China is a big capital market. And this is a time where China really wants to pivot away from They want to change the tone. They want to change the conversation away from China real estate and currency sucks, right, to something else. Now, more than likely, they're going to change it to, they don't want to change it to like Taiwan, right? They don't want to go that radical. That's kind of a nice ace in the pocket to keep for a rainy day for China. But AI, developing AI breakthroughs faster than America would be a good way to change the subject of the world's conversation on China. But adopting crypto is definitely something that they could pull. They could pull out of their back pocket, say, "Hey, yeah, forget about all the negative stuff with going on with China. We just legalize crypto. Now all of our people can buy Bitcoin, and we'll escape all of our people being completely poor and going back to destitute poverty like they did before 2015, I think it was." So obviously I'm using some hyperbole there, but this is what this story is telling me. And I'm watching the Asian story, the Asian narrative towards crypto like a hawk. I know that there's not as much money in Asia locked up that wants to buy Bitcoin and buy crypto as there is in the US, right? But they are much more technologically advanced in different Asian countries like Japan, and Japan's already adopted crypto. There's no ban there. But in China, they're much more technologically advanced in their big cities, and they would be much more likely to adopt and use crypto on a daily basis. Whereas here in the United States, Visa and MasterCard got us so... there's a couple of words that come to mind, but Visa and MasterCard are loyal products that people use. We get that little drip. We get those little bonus rewards for eating out, or from going to a theater, or using it for using credit cards for gasoline. In Asia, of course, they have credit cards as well, but they're much more likely to adopt something they see as more favorable. And if you could just buy things with crypto and watch your savings and watch your cash on hand become more valuable relative to fiat currency, then that's something you might do. Not to mention it's just easier, and you can send it to people a lot easier than with TradFi. I wanted to mix things up a little bit. I have a big story that I don't know if I want to talk about quite yet because it's kind of big macro, and today just doesn't feel like the right day. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to hear a big macro story? I kind of don't feel like that's the vibe. Let me know in the chat. Speaking of the chat, let's go ahead and kick it over to the bros. For the next couple of minutes, I want to chat and just see what the bros are talking about here. Piper Academy saying good morning. Of course, Piper Academy going to be going live here in about 6 minutes Eastern Standard, so that's going to be really good. Hope you all, if you haven't gone and watched Army Piper's show, Piper Academy with TradeFly and OC, you're missing out. They put on a great show. I listen to it pretty much every day. Listen to it and watch it while I'm riding my bike, or while I'm re-editing the thumbnail for these videos, or whatever it is, putting those timestamps in. Barbaric Puma said, good morning, bros. Life is chill now during this bull cycle, said Kevin Huseman, 24. Yes. There is definitely a stark contrast between what investors are experiencing now and what we have been experiencing in the bear market. The Kid Coleman said, I love the T-Shroom evil chuckle. All right, well, I may have missed that evil chuckle. I don't know that I heard it, but that is a funny call out, Kid Coleman. Amela Fella said, my Pepe is doing great too, baby, with some frog faces there, alluding to the Pepe move. All right, Blackie Chan said, good morning, Piper Academy. Let's see, what else do we have here? Drew P throwing up some thumbs up. Gotta like it. Guys, if you haven't liked the stream, like it. Jump on in there. I know I'm very chill today. But you can still go in and like the stream. Let's go ahead and hear from some more bros. This is Crux of Crypto, kind of giving his take here. He said, today's price action was dope, but we're still in the first inning. When you begin to see projects outside the top 100 bypass everything right into the top 15, that's when we're playing ball. Sheeb, Matic, Solana. And this is something that I've talked about with Crux recently, and I completely agree with him. This is really the indicator of when we're in, further into the bull market, guys. What I would say is, from what I've studied about Bitcoin and bull markets in the 4-year cycle, is that this is an really early cycle, right? Now let me show you another one as well, another chart, because this is important to get an idea of. This is all kind of going off of Crux's tweet here. Now Bitcoin should have been according to the stock to flow model. Bitcoin really should have been valued here at 50,000, 55,000. There's another stock to flow model that kind of puts it at 55,000. But you can see the price has sagged for a while, and there's been a bit of a difference there. Well, the point is that I want to make, though, is that we're still far away from the halving. We still have months, right? We still have an entire month, and then the change that's on the front end of April and the back end of February that we're in now, it basically is like multiple months still away, right? And so a lot can happen in that period of time. Bitcoin could shoot up. Bitcoin could also do what it's done almost every cycle, which is have a 30 or even 40% correction. Now, Tim and I have been beating that drum. We really have. And to be honest with you, technically, it's still technical analysis would still lead us to believe that could happen, right? When you go out to the weekly chart, what do you see? You see Bitcoin, you see the hyperwave in overbought levels, right? You're seeing reversal deltas again and again, saying there should be a reversal to the downside. So the technicals are saying Bitcoin should go down. But the reality is it's not. And it's not because what we're witnessing is history. We're witnessing something that indicators are not built to calculate and to measure, if that makes sense. We're seeing a historic paradigm shift of people's definitions of value and how they're approaching their retirement and how they're approaching their savings. And that is why probably these reverse indicators may be wrong. Now, it's not that they're wrong. It's just that they're not designed for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is face melt mode. These indicators are like, wait, what happened to Amazon and Google? Because if you plug in Amazon and Google, I'm not going to do that, but it's much more accurate for right now, at least. So that's just a way to think about it, guys. It's a way to think about it. Thank you, Crux, for tweeting that out, letting everybody know. I'm going to go ahead and like it right here on stream. Boom, look at that. Let's see what else we got. Kelly Kellum, another bro. He said, soon, 1 million Bitcoin already held by ETFs. Are you paying attention? Registered income advisors haven't even started pushing ETFs to the hundreds of millions of clients yet. My future is marked safe by being in before institutions and retail. And that's 100% true. Guys, we are front running the institutions. Probably something you've heard before, but it's really exciting, right? BlackRock and Fidelity are only now really getting into Bitcoin and bringing it to their high net worth clients, right? But there is a class of investors. There is a huge chunk of money who hasn't even really been pitched this yet, right? And that's the Wells Fargos, that's the Bank of America wealth managers, which do manage a lot of money. Not necessarily for the most wealthy people, but for, the kind of the upper middle class where there's a lot of money to be unlocked, right? So there's still a lot of money out there, and that's just in America, right? There's still a lot of money out there in the rest of the world. Let's keep moving here. Let's keep grooving. I tweeted out, I'm a bro, right? I'm a bro. Eric Balkanis, if he knew about how awesome it is to be a bro, I'm sure he would be a bro. Eric Balkanis said, it's official. The new 9 Bitcoin ETFs have broken all-time volume record with today 2.4 billion, just barely beating day one, but about double their recent daily average. So this is iBit, went wild, accounting for 1.3 billion of it, breaking its record by about 30%. So it's pretty crazy. As you can see here, it's just getting started, right? The first day was of Bitcoin spot ETF buying was pretty crazy. It was a lot. There was a lot of buying, right? And then it got subdued, and the GBTC story kind of got priced in, and folks were a little bit more hesitant. Well, that is all changing now, right? And to be honest with you guys, fundamentally, I don't see exactly why it's now. We saw futures liquidation seem to indicate that it made sense for it to be now. MicroStrategy's buying more Bitcoin definitely seem to be now. But I think ultimately, guys, it's just supply and demand. It's just like market dynamics, which is like when rich people see a chart that just doesn't correct, it just keeps going up. They're like, ooh, I want that. I want that before it's up here at 69,000, right? Because of course, once we get to all-time highs, that's going to be, well, I say it now, that's going to be major resistance. But, who knows? With Bitcoin, it kind of seems like all bets are off to the downside. You just go long. When you're this close to the halving, right? You just go long and you just hodl. And you can trade other altcoins. You can trade stocks. I guess that's my evil laugh. I get it. But selling, trying to time the top, right, is going to be tough. And I don't think the top is anywhere near in at all. Let me know. Do you guys think that the top is in? Drew XRP said, awesome advice. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for the shout out. Said Piper Academy. Absolutely. It's going to be a good show. I'm going to tune in. I bet they're all going to be, it's going to be party mode. It's not going to be chill mode like it is here. I bet Piper Academy, which is starting in -1 minutes, is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to go watch it right now, and I hope to see you all over there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Investing Bros. I've been T Shroom. Make sure you keep your stop losses tight if you're trading and stay hydrated. We'll see you in the Piper Academy here in just a couple seconds, and then 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tim and I will be diving into the charts. We'll be diving into any developments that happen between now and then. We'll see you there.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.